All right. Welcome. We are now on day 42 of these live guitar practice streams that I'm doing. And again, I thank you all for joining my journey. And I also welcome you to also start your own challenge, start your own little journey, pick up the guitar, start the piano, maybe start a YouTube challenge, whatever it might be. I challenge you to, just get started as well. But today, I mostly challenge you in following along, listening, paying attention to some of the things I say, as some of the techniques I'll try to show a little bit. But again, just keep in mind these are live practice streams. Can't do all the editing necessarily right now. So these are just live practice streams to get me practicing and to get my content out there that I'm a beginner and just trying to see how well I can get, in 100 days. If I actually put 100 hours in of consistency, of consecutive practice, day in and day out, learn a little bit each day. And let's just see what 100 days gets us. So again, I invite you to follow along. And today for day 42, again, we're getting into, as you could tell by the thumbnail that we clicked on, it is going to be bending today. So as with all my videos, be kind, be patient, and because I am obviously a beginner. So we're all learning together, right? That's why the thumbnail says learn with me. I'm not a professional here. There's other videos you can go out there and find of other people who actually know it, and they'll just get on here and they'll just shred, and they don't actually teach you anything. It's like, okay, I clicked on the video because I thought you were going to actually teach me something. Your camera angles didn't show a whole lot. You're shredding as if I'm not a beginner, although your title says beginner. I don't know. It's like some of the teachers on here, it's like they're great at guitar, clearly, but they're just not good at, like, okay, slow it down. You've clearly been playing for 10 years. We get it. You're good. But anyways, so yeah, just getting into some bending today. So bear with me here as I'm trying to learn the technique, learn how to do it, things like that. So I know for a while there, I was kind of like using my hand and like only one finger at a time instead of the supporting fingers. So just trying to get a little bit better with the technique. So here to start with, I'm going to do some bending, and I'm just going to go through the strings, and I'm just going to do the bending on the 1 and the 2. So the 1-2 string. So let's see. Or 1-2 finger strings. I'm going to try to do it on all the strings just to kind of get an understanding of what the bending is like on all the different strings, right? Okay. Okay, just going through the bends, just using the index finger and the middle finger right now. I'm going to eventually, get through all the different finger combinations, but right now I'm just focusing on the first and the second finger. Trying to figure out if I want to bend up or pull the string down and bend down. So I'm just trying to, get it figured out. It's the first, second time I've kind of really tried bending. I actually tried bending. Of course, I think the very, first or second time I ever put the guitar over my shoulder, you wanted to try to do a bend, but like actually practicing it, first or second time. So just trying to figure out, I'm noticing that it's really, really hard to do bends up here. And here it gets, relatively easy. Down here, it's like the strings bend very easily. So you're going to have to learn different pressures as you go and bend in different spots on the neck of the guitar. And depending on the gauge wire string that you have here, also, it's going to require a different pressure. So learning all those small little things, obviously very important. So just running through the strings. Okay. Now let's try. All right. Now the high E string. All right. So that was running through the bending using the first and the second string. Now we're going to do the first and the third string. Okay. Now I know with my hand, it might look like I'm, not doing the first and the third finger because I'm putting this middle finger down here, but that's okay because, for example, if you're on the low E string and I have all four fingers down, then I'm really only playing the note that the pinky is on because all these other ones are just there for support, right? So I used to only put like one finger down at a time. I'm trying to get the other fingers to be there in support, even though they're not the ones that are ringing out and being played. They're there for support. One, to train my fingers to keep them low to the strings, even if they're not being played. See that small air gap there, rather than being way out here. So it trains the fingers to be lower to the strings, one. And then also, if you have to do like a bend or want to do some vibrato or some things like that, these fingers are already on the strings. Because, like for example, if you're here and you need to do a bend, well, now you're only doing the bend with these two fingers, right? If you had these fingers also down, then you could use the entire hand motion, the entire wrist, not the fingers pushing, but the entire wrist, kind of ratchet. Here we go. About here maybe. Ratchet. So anyways, just wanted to show that although this middle finger is going down, I still am technically only using the first and the third fingers for the parts that actually ring out. Okay. All right, back to the top on the B string now. And again, I guess when I'm bending these, I'm not necessarily aiming for it to be a half step bend or a whole step bend, or 1.5 steps or 2 steps, or whatever it might be. You could also say that maybe not in whole steps and half steps, but in do I want to bend it 1 fret away? Do I want to bend it 2 frets away? Do I want to bend it 3 frets away? Or do I want to bend that string 4 frets away? The more you bend it, for example, the more you bend it, the next fret it goes. So if you barely bend it, hear that? It's roughly the same. If I bend it a little bit more, might not be perfect. My ears aren't trained that well yet, right? I'm only 42 days in, but that's the idea, is to be super, super accurate with those bends, right? Are you really intending it to be a half step, or are you really intending it to be a whole step? Another way you could say that again: are you intending it to go 1 fret away, or are you intending the bend to sound like it's 2 or 3 or 4 frets away? That's going to take time. Right now, in this little exercise that I'm doing here, I've never even really done bends, period, right? So it's like I'm not worried about if the tone sonically is perfect just yet, right? I gotta get down just the motion and get the feel for it. So that's all I'm doing here, just trying to get the feel for it. Not trying to be super accurate, knowing that, okay, that's for sure a half bend. I don't know yet. So just wanted to make that kind of clear, just in case the sounds are kind of sounding different. Yeah, it probably will be. So as I'm just now learning this, I'm trying to just get comfortable. It's like learning a foreign language, right? First, you're going to learn, what the word kind of looks like and kind of sort of how to pronounce it. But then once you actually go and try to speak it to somebody who actually, has that native tongue, you're going to realize that you weren't, super sharp with it, super accurate with it. It's going to take, some time when it's the first time you've done it. Just like with bending, the first time you do it, it's not going to be, perfectly accurate. You're not going to bend exactly to where you want to bend, just like you wouldn't go to another country and pronunciate, their words, perfectly, the first time around. So just be patient with yourself. Again, right now, I'm just trying to understand the motor skills of it, right? I'll pick up the sound as I practice this drill. I'll be picking up the sounds at the same time. So anyways, for one of my little spiel there, I was on the B string. So using the first and the third string. The middle finger is coming down, but it's going to be muted because the ring finger is coming down and actually being the one that's ringing out. I'm trying to practice a bend. All right. Now the high E string. All right. So that was with the first and the third finger. Now I'm going to run through the entire neck with the first and the fourth finger. Again, I want to do all the different variations of the fingering because, you might be trying to, freestyle or go through a lick or whatever, and you might have to do a bend with all four fingers supporting that pinky. Or you might need to do a bend with the three middle fingers here, all supporting that ring finger. Or you might need to use just two fingers. Just depends on where you're at and, things like that for the different scenarios that come through. Sometimes you need to even bend with one finger. So actually here shortly, I'm going to do that. So usually I'm doing like a 2-finger combo or whatever, or a multi-finger combo. You can also do it with just the one finger as well. So I'll make sure and try to double back and not to forget about that one. But first, let's do the 1-4. So again, it's not just going to be 1-4. It's going to be 1-4 with these other fingers coming down and supporting. They won't ring out because it's only the lead finger is the one that rings out. So. Okay, then now to the A string. The stretch. Okay. The pinky one's hard because the nails, as I try to do the bend, the nails of my fingers go underneath the other string that I'm bending into. So I'll have to make some technique adjustments eventually when I figure this out better. See how I'm coming back? My fingers sometimes pluck the other string, and it's like, no. I just want you to back away from the other string. I don't want you to pluck it or make any sound at all. Just back away from the string. Dang it. I'll figure it out. Okay, 1, 4 fingers. Whew. All right, that was with the first and the fourth finger. So now I'm gonna just quickly run through and do a little bend with the index finger alone to build up its strength and understanding. I gotta figure out another way to mute the bend as it goes and it starts to terrible at impersonations. But as it bends, a couple videos I was watching, the people weren't allowing it to do here. For example, as you bend it, hear it coming back down. It sounded like they weren't really allowing it to come back down. They ramp it up and then mute it and let everything go back to the natural home position. They bend it up, and then before it relaxed, it was muted on the way down. So something I need to figure out my technique there. See, again, I'm just working on the motor skills right now. Again, I'm not focused on the accuracy of the pitch, if it's actually getting that half step or that full step. I'm not really focused on that. I'm just trying to get the motor skills understood, right? So the first couple times I've really done bending exercises or bending drills. So the sound will come, but first I'm just trying to get the motor skills, trying to not bend using the fingers and really forcing the fingers to bend everything, but using more of this doorknob motion, as if you were like grabbing the doorknob and you're turning the whole arm, kind of, sort of, the whole forearm at least, maybe not the whole arm, but the whole forearm. So like when you're doing the bends, instead of it looking like really using the fingers here, that's wrong. The wrong way of reenacting it. Whereas really it should be so again, I'm not a professional, I'm not perfect yet, I'm still trying to learn it. But yeah, it's more of a rotation, not a finger strength thing. So if your fingers are getting really wore out from practicing the bends, then know that you're using a little bit too much finger power rather than supporting fingers and whole like hand power, if that makes sense. So I think we were on the B string. I don't 100% know, but I think I was on the B string practicing these index finger single finger bends. All right. High E string. Okay. This bending will sliding. Well, first just playing the guitar, I obviously started understanding and realizing, it kind of hurts the fingers, kind of chews them up, gets them to be a little calloused. But then as I started sliding, I was like, oh, that really kind of, gets them calloused because you're, just putting your skin on the string and just sliding it. So like, oh, okay, that's callousing it pretty good too as I'm learning these slides. And now that I'm learning bending, you're kind of pivoting like your foot in basketball, right? That bottom of the shoe, the sole of the shoe is scratching and pivoting on the pavement and the concrete. That's basically what your fingers are doing here as you bend and you get the supporting fingers and everything's kind of rotating. You're kind of slightly pivoting the skin on the string. So it's kind of gnawing off and kind of, what do I want to call it? Burring up the skin, I guess. So more ways to get the fingers calloused to sound good, right? Gives the strings that extra zing sound sometimes once the fingers get calloused. So it's all good. Okay, another one I wanted to practice. Okay, so that was the first finger, first, second, first, third, first, fourth. Now let's go try to do like a 2-3 type of pattern. So if it's okay. 2-3. Again, the first finger is down, but it's muted because the middle finger is on the same string and it's leading. So that lead finger is the one that rings out. Yeah, I'm actually going to go this direction so that way I can hear the note that I'm trying to impersonate, because going this direction, the note, I don't know how to explain it really, but yeah, the note that I'm ringing out here, it's the note behind it this direction but bent. So if I'm trying to play this, so I really need to be going that direction. So let's see here. Let's do like a all right, back down here. It's hard once it gets way up here. All right, now we're on the G string. All right. Now moving on to the B string here. Trying to go that direction and do some bends. I'm playing the pinky note to see what the sound is. And I take the pinky off and I use these other 3 fingers to bend. Where it hopefully matches that sound. So now I'm doing a little bit of ear training on this exercise here that I've slightly transitioned into. So Okay, a high E string now. Okay. Just trying to get the sound understood a little bit because, again, so the only best way I can really understand this right now with the knowledge I have is any note that you want to play. Doesn't matter. Pick any. Pick any note you want, right? So if you're playing this note, it goes this direction. So if you're playing this note, the one below it, if you bend it, it'll sound just like that one. So it makes a little L shape, and that's how you mimic the sound of the note. So if you're trying to play this E here, so you're on the 5th fret, B string, is E here. If you play the note behind it, that's an E flat. However, if you bend that E flat, it goes back to an E. You keep on bending it, it'll eventually go to an F. So you got E, F, F sharp, G. So if you bend this E flat note here, you start bending it, it'll turn into an E, F, F sharp, G, just by bending it. So it goes E flat, just as it's supposed to be. You start bending it, it turns into an E, and it more, turns into an F, and then even more, turns into an F sharp. Bend it even more if you can. It would turn into a G. So once I saw a YouTube video kind of explaining that, it made a lot of sense. I didn't understand, when you bend it, what note is it making? Well, it's making the next highest note, right? These are lower notes. As you go this direction, the notes get higher, right? If you play this note here versus this note here, this one's way higher. So as you go this direction, you're going higher. So as you bend a note, you're going to the next highest note. So if you're playing, this B here, this is on the 7th fret, this B here, and you bend it, it's going to go to the next highest note, C. You bend it even more, it's going to go to a C sharp or a D, depending on how much you bend it. So that's why that accuracy on how much you bend, it really, really, really matters, because it depends on it. It depends if you're going to go a half step, a whole step, 1.5 steps. So getting that accuracy is really important, but that'll come in time, right? That's going to take many days, many hours worth of practice. So right now, just trying to get the motor skills, right? The sound will come. And as I'm practicing these motor skills, I'm practicing my eardrum as well. The eardrum is practicing, I should say. So yeah, let's get back into some of these bending exercises here. Just practicing the motor skills right now. We'll get the accuracy and the true bending later. So let's do a. We did a. We already did all that, so let's do. Okay, so now it'll be a 3-finger run, so we're going to leave the pinky off. Okay. Okay. Bending. It's an exercise. Pull on those strings, or pushing those strings. Just sticking with this bending here. So what I'm doing there, I know it's kind of hard to see probably with the camera angles and stuff here, with it being live music streams here. But the reason it's sounding like that, I'm playing the note that I want to mimic multiple times. And then I remove the finger and I play the lower note next to it a couple times, but then I bend it to see if I can mimic that other note that I was, trying to duplicate. Does that sound right? That sounds wrong, clearly, because I'm just playing it naturally. Sounds pretty close. So see, that's all I'm trying to do. Just try to get those notes sounding pretty close, trying to train this ear. So I'm working on motor skills. I'm also training the ear at the same time. Okay. All right, just real quick, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and please subscribe to my channel, so that way it's easier to find my content in the future. Also, comment below to get a community of like minds speaking, and also go ahead and boop that like button. Even if you don't like the video, go ahead and help a friend out. It's always much appreciated. So thank you very much. Just want to quickly put all that out there. Now let's get back into why we're here, and that is trying to bend. Keyword trying. All right. So what's another exercise? I've just been kind of bending, right? Mostly probably doing half steps because I'm kind of new to bending, so I'm not really trying to crank things. And so I'm just kind of doing, not intentionally, but it's really all my hand muscles can handle at the time. So it's probably all half bends. But if you really wanted to put a little extra force into it, let's try to challenge ourselves the last tail bit of this video, and let's try to do some whole step bends. So before I was playing the note right next to it. And bending it to find the sound. So it's the note right next to it. Well, if you want to crank it and bend a little more, it's going to create that whole step bend. So now what you would want to do is, let's say you're on the 7th fret here with the B, E, A, D, F sharp, and B notes. So here on the 7th fret, let's say you want to bend the 3rd string, which is a D. So let's say you want to bend this D here. Well, you would, to know what note you're trying to mimic, you would go a whole step away. So if you're on this D here on the 7th fret, a half step will go to the 8th fret, a whole step will go to the 9th fret. So if you wanted to bend the 7th a whole step, you'd basically be mimicking this E note here because it's a whole step away from the D, right? So if you want to bend the D up to the E, let's see, it would be another little trick that you can do is here. I pretty much always just keep it on the headstock here. But basically, this is just if I hit this button, turn it on, if I play some notes. See, it's probably hard to see, but basically, it shows what note I'm playing. So you could use that as a tool. So let's say I'm trying to, play this E note here. It comes up on there as an E, and then slightly sharp, or flat, slightly flat there. But then if I wanted to bend this D up, I could figure out exactly how much I need to bend by looking on here. It'll tell me, am I playing an actual E, or is it an E sharp or an E flat? It kind of helps you fine tune that ear. So sometimes it's good to turn on your tuning tool just to help your ear out. So just something to do offline. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing that here. I just wanted to, I was watching some other YouTubers and they gave me that tip. So I was like, hey, that's actually pretty intelligent. So just wanted to pass along the tips, right? That's why I'm here, not just to get good at guitar myself, not just to learn this YouTube stuff and figure out how to, make a YouTube live video or make a regular YouTube video or make a YouTube short. I'm trying to understand YouTube as well during this 100-day journey. But then also, if I can help others out with the tips and the tricks and the things that I'm saying or the things that I'm learning by watching others and can pass that along, that's great. So if I ever know that I help anybody at all, that brings joy to my soul and a smile to my face. So that's another great part about starting this YouTube challenge, and not just, starting on the couch. I'm actually holding myself accountable, and I'm putting videos out there that show credibility, that show when I started, and then also it can help people, which is, the ultimate goal, really, the underlying pleasure, right? Of course, I'm doing it for myself. Of course, I want to get good at guitar, but if I can also help people along my path, why not? So super happy that I got the 100-day challenge started. Can't wait to finish it up so I can start another project, to be dead honest. But hey, I'm having fun while I'm doing this. I did notice that my subscribers actually went up. I had 2 subscribers, the 2 most important ladies in my life, or 2 of the 3. My grandma had a YouTube account. I guarantee you she would be subscribed as well. But no, my mom and my my actual girlfriend, my partner, they are actually subscribed to me. But I just noticed the other day after my last video that I put out there, I noticed that I have 3 subscribers now. So whoever you are, thank you so much. It is a blessing to have you on board. I greatly appreciate it. It truly touches my heart and soul to know that, hey, the stuff I'm putting out there, it must have been good enough for somebody to want to, hit that subscribe button to watch some videos and things like that. So it means a lot. It means that I'm doing something right, because I could have never started this journey at all, or I could have started the journey, but maybe didn't record it, and I wouldn't have anything tangible to kind of show for it. So I can help others out by this. I can also look back on this myself in time and review myself, and, use that as milestones or stepping stones, because sometimes you get so far and you realize that you've came so far and you still get like kind of depressed and upset. But if you ever just take the time to go and reflect on how far you've came, it means a lot. It really does. So I think people need to spend a little bit more time doing that. We're all caught up in the destination often, You're not happy until you get there. Well, when you get there, there's just another thing in the way that's not making you, super happy. So you just got to enjoy the journey. Anyways, enough talking. Do some bending. Not going to get good at guitar by talking. Let's try whole step bends. So I guess on the 6th and the 5th string, if you want to do whole step bends, you'd have to bend down, right? I don't know. I'm asking. That's a serious question. Because if you bend up, you're going to fall off the fretboard. You're going to fall off strings are going to slide off. So if anyone knows the answer to that, if on the 5th and the 6th string, I know if you have like a half step bend, you could probably technically still bend up on the 5th string, but on the 6th string, I think you always have to bend down. The 5th string, you can bend up if it's a half step, but if it's anything more than a half step, you'd have to bend down, right? Or else you'll just fall off the fretboard. So anyways, if anyone knows the answer to that, leave a comment below. Let me know how the bending is supposed to work on the strings 5 and 6. I know on strings 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can bend all of them up, which is what I typically see most guitarists doing, bending everything kind of up. But then every now and then you'll see them pull it down. So just kind of curious to know on that. Anyways, let's do some whole step bends. So I'm trying to mimic 2 frets away. So now I'm trying to make the whole step bend. So the bend is a little harder, takes more pressure, right? So again, I don't know if I'm sonically there or not. Might be slightly sharp or slightly flat, but the intention right now is to do a whole step bend. Whew. Let's go over here to the D string. Okay. Hmm. Man. Whew. This bending stuff is gonna take a little bit of practice, take a little bit of, getting used to. So just gonna have to stick with it and keep scuffing up these fingers and just keep trying. So one of the first times really getting at this bending, second time maybe. I did learn though, just one last quick tip is that when I first started understanding bending or trying to figure it out, I guess I don't understand it at all just yet, to be dead honest. But I wasn't sure, like, can you only bend up or can you bend down? And if you bend up or down, does that make a different sound? Well, I have found out just by listening and by, actually watching other YouTubers and things like that, that, you can bend up or down and it's going to make the exact same sound. It just depends on how much pressure you put into it going up or down. That is what affects it, but it doesn't matter going up or down. So whichever feels more comfortable and natural to you, hey, use that way. But that's going to be a wrap for today's practice session. Today is day 42 again. So we're now 42 hours into practicing guitar, and that's just on camera. That's not what goes into what happens off camera. with watching YouTube videos and, things like that. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That allows me to know, that the stuff I'm putting out there is worthwhile. Someone's actually enjoying it for whatever it might be, whether it's the aesthetics and the lights, whether it's, the actual sound, whether it's the technique and the practice, little drills and things that I'm trying to, display as best I can just by doing a live practice stream. Whatever brings you to my channel and makes you subscribe, makes you comment, makes you, boop the like button. It's all greatly, greatly appreciated. So please leave a comment below. Get me speaking, get other people speaking about music and guitar. And also hit that like button. Even if the sound isn't that great just yet, help a friend out. Hit the like button, Also, please leave a comment. That really, really, really does let me know. I read them. I take them serious. I respond to everybody. So again, it's all a blessing. Thank you no matter what, even if you just tuned in for 5 seconds and click off. Thank you. I love you. And last but not least, you can click these floating videos here. This one you can watch my entire catalog, or this one you can watch the following, subsequent video. But nonetheless, until next time, take care of yourselves so that way you can take care of each other even better. And I love you. And until next time, peace out.